My name is Purity. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Purity and Shulak, episode 22, take 2.
Hello. Oh. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
You. Hi guys. My name is Shulak. I'm just here as a support system. This spotlight is hers, so let's make her shine.
No. Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Purity and Shulak. I am Purity Mbugwa.
And I am Shulak Mbogo. Welcome to P&S, episode 22.
Where matching up the energy is hard.
Inakuwa ngumu, but you have to.
Yeah,
You have to be at par.
Oh, yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you too. We come out to Jordan for a whole month. But good to see you.
Well, we
Good to see you.
much.
Good to see you on set.
Good to see you on set too.
Thank you.
Somebody
How are you?
commented we laugh too much. Tunapenda kicheko sana.
Jo, kicheko ni dawa vitu mingi sana.
Sana.
Hata inasemekana ukicheka umejiongezea siku kadhaa, sijui ngapi to be specific.
And the Swahili is
but it's
flowing.
Good.
You were saying?
Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to P&S.
Thank you.
Hope you guys have been good. You have been good yourself?
Kabisa.
Okay.
Perfect.
Mine has been not the best week, but we move. Yeah. We move regardless. And in today's topic, we are talking about money.
Yes.
Money. Unajua kitu ya kwanza imekuja kwa akili ni nini? Pesa makaratasi.
Yo guys, I have a new single. Inaitwa Go Your Way. It's a heartbreak song, a really deep one. It holds a special place in my heart. Kama tu zile zingine, but sasa this one runs deep. It's a heartbreak song. It's available on my YouTube channel. That's Shulak, SHULAC, and on all streaming platforms: Spotify, Boomplay, Deezer, iTunes. You can use it on your IG Reels, stories. You can use it on TikTok. So let's run up the numbers. Kuna mali nimesema pesa makaratasi, but I beg to differ. Ili kwa machungu. Pesa muhimu.
I hear you. Go check the song. I love the vibe. It speaks to me in a way. I always say you have a way of putting, some of us who cannot express ourselves, you always have a way of putting feelings into words, which is so magical.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so, I think just to begin with, money. Do you think nowadays, just from that aspect of, pesa makaratasi, like money is just money. In this time and age, are people really inclining to people who have money? Is that a question?
Definitely.
Money
that
is
goes
attractive.
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
We are all inclined to people who have the cash flow, the liquidity, for some reason. You want to know, how do you earn your money? How do you manage it? How do you spend it? As in managing aje kuchannel, like this portion will go to this, the other will go to this. You're still living lavishly. We do get inclined to people who have money.
And money is attractive.
It is.
Mtu unaangalia mtu anakaa tu pesa.
Asingata kuna ngozi ya pesa.
It's true. It's so true, by the way. Money. So we're just going to dive deep into, not deep, we're just going to share our experiences around money and the myths and stereotypes around money. Yeah, one of it is what? Have you heard of people who do not want to make too much money because they feel like it's what? Either they don't deserve it, or it's not good to have too much money, access to too much money.
The latter, I've heard about the latter. It's not good to have too much money, and I'm like, up to now you still don't appreciate the value of money. Regardless. I know money does not buy happiness, but it does buy you experiences
and good
things that you will not have had were it not for this money. Unaona? And also times nasikianga nipo ukiteseka ya mtu akona pesa ni different sana na
kuteseka ya mtu waje.
Imagine you're depressed and you don't have food.
Yeah.
You don't have money to get the basics. Food, shelter,
clothing, yeah.
And imagine the other one is depressed, but at least
akona access hizo.
Hilo kumejeza food kwa nyumba but hauna hiyo appetite. But just in case ikuje, you have access to the food. Ama you still have a roof over your head.
Yeah.
You might have a nice bed, but again you don't have sleep. But you can't compare
to a person,
the anguish with a person who is on the streets,
who has nothing. Even basic education also. That's also a thing I've noted. I was trying to remember who it was. It was a popular person, popular in the terms of career wise. Alikuwa pale juu, and the notion was when you have too much money, like you're supposed to live like a modest life. You get? So hata salo hautaki mingi, like wewe unataka tu kuishi maisha modest. Like there are people who believe money and wealth is a source of evil somehow. And so that to me caught me very. There are people who just like modesty and money. Not you're having too much that you're attracting so much attention to yourself. They don't want that.
But again, it depends. There are people who love that attention, and they'll make sure they have your attention. But again, how many people do you know have loads of money and but you can't tell? Yes, the lifestyle is the lifestyle is yes, unaona kagari, but they won't be out here with
they don't show off
at flashing. Because even for me, I want that money. I always say I want to create generational wealth, and I want that liquidity. Me says this nataka modesty. But I won't rub it off on people other like people. I have this. I'ma be that flashy. You have your nice car. But now we have different breeds.
Yeah.
There's someone who will make sure you know they have. So anytime they go maybe to an event, they'll make it rain. Ama they'll rub it in people's faces that by the way I have the money. But many people have a lot of people have money, but you can't even point a finger and say they have money.
In any case, you can easily brush off somebody just because of how they appear and how they show up.
Until you see them hanging out with certain people, ama you just hear conversation.
You hear the conversations they're having.
So it all depends.
Okay.
Especially people who have old money.
They have grown with money.
It doesn't rub off on people.
They're very modest and very humble.
Yeah.
Okay.
But their lifestyle is still without having to show that I have this. But they will live their life.
Okay. Yeah, there's another myth that money is the root cause of all evil.
Depends what kind of evil. I would love someone to sit me down and explain it to me like a 3-year-old.
How
money is the
cause of all
evil.
I think maybe when people look at it from aspect of corruption, and money is the root cause of all evil. Because as we said, kuna watu, once you get the money, it changes who you are. In a way that it does not say build the society, and it starts to become like what? Very selfish, looking at the interest of yourself as opposed to
others.
So unasikia ati watu wakisema yule mtu ako na pesa anajisikianga aje, that person has money, now they can't
hang
around whatever. It's like now they on their own level. And
let's just say it depends with someone's personality. Jenye kuna tupata pesa wanakanyaga watu proper.
Yes.
Then there are others who will hata wakanyaga mtajua tu kidogo mtu amepanda ka level. So it all depends with someone's personality. With you
and how they
na wewe
and how they do what. But I'm told eventually when you ukitoka from one level and go to another level, somehow your habits are bound to change. Your circle is bound to change because also the conversations are bound to change. So the fact that you are not on the same level, or the fact that you may appear to not be wanting certain interactions, at times it just comes with
naturally.
It just comes with the money, or it comes with the process and the growth.
I tend to agree, because let's imagine I'll use my own example. I'll use myself as an example.
Okay.
The point I'm at in life, kuna places me who hang out because of you.
Okay.
But wait, not for you, singe manage kufika. Mimi kuna ka class ndapanda kidogo, sasa nitajipata najipeleka wapi? Hapo. Then after a while, tipate tena nimeenda. I remember one time, you know, I love Omena. Shrek was telling me, ni vile unanga pesa, ukipata pesa utaiguza hii kitu, you'll be going for the tilapia, the real deal. But only time will tell. Kuna vitu mtu manage kuacha, kuna zingine managing kuacha. You might find yourself, maybe you loved to thrift, but now you have the money and you don't have time to go thrifting. So you just get into a store.
You're now going high end and just doing your thing. I get that.
Which is not bad. Why?
It's not a bad
Why
thing.
do we hate change? Change is inevitable.
Because it's uncomfortable, and I'm told for you who is changing, it is good. To the person who is not changing, or say who is your friend, it's like you're constantly in their face, like, why aren't you putting in the work? Why aren't you doing what you need to do to move? So now sense. It starts to rub them off
the wrong way.
So now they start hawataki, ni kama wakupendi, or for whatever reason. It makes people uncomfortable.
But we just have to agree that this thing is inevitable.
It is inevitable.
It is inevitable.
Very inevitable.
Alafu, have you ever noticed that yes, umepanda class, but some people change certain things. For instance, I know very wealthy people, close to us, who drive modest cars.
Yes.
But now when you hear about the investments they are making, in comparison to what they used to do before, I would even be surprised if someone started saying, squeezy hata hafanyi hii, squeezy anafanya. But you look at the kind of car they are driving and you're like, hata ukei pesa wewe. The way they dress. If that guy finds you maybe in a mall and tries to start a conversation with you,
you can easily brush them off.
But so again, it all depends with priorities.
Oh yes.
Some people will start dressing up different. Some people will still maintain the same restaurants.
Yes, and you may never know that they are growing in another aspect of their life.
You wanna kula mutura times, and you see a very high-end car in a stop. Ameipark tu mahali tu, alafu anakuja kawaida. Baggy jeans, t-shirt, and a cap. Nakula, times that mnaweza strike small talk. And then when they are leaving, you are like, Aya. Okay. So kuna vitu I believe kuna vitu unaweza shindwa kuacha. Na kuna zingine maybe you are just there because
the circumstance. Maybe the circumstance ilikuforce ukue hapo. And you have to live within your means.
Yeah. But if you can afford what you used to wish for, why not?
Why not? I 100% agree. But growing up, I don't remember our parents having conversations about money with us.
Never.
I think of all, they've done a pretty good job of raising us, but hapo tu pamoja tu ndo naonanga hapo they really didn't do what. Siku hizi you hear talk ati nafungulia mtoto whatever, a fund. Is it a fund? No, like savings, an account for savings and all that. Kwanza I remember we have this rich uncle, wealthy uncle who came to visit us some time back, and he gave us some money. Unajua mkipewa pesa, the first instinct was leta nikuweke. You know the parents. Bring the money. Acha nikuweke for when you need the money. When it's never, you never really need the money afterwards. And so, culture ya savings, investments, I think it's something, I don't know how, because I've always been very keen on that. Savings, especially savings, not so much on the investment side. But growing up, I can't remember having those money conversations.
I don't think it was it was not even a priority for them.
No.
I don't know if you remember the time I really pushed to have a junior account. A KCB junior account where they will give you a savings nini ilikuwa inakaa kandovu. Like I was a pig.
It's a pig.
You remember that time? Like I really pushed. I pushed. Never. I don't know, like for how many, since about class 5, class 6 hapo. And I remember I used to save. I even used to work for them. Wanilipe.
Yeah.
Let me give you a story.
I remember this story.
I hope Mom never comes across this. So what I used to do was I will clean their shoes.
Yes.
And I will charge them 50 bob. Dad was the best boss. That is the best boss I've had in my whole life. Because he'd pay on time.
Yeah.
In fact, I used to charge 20 or 30.
No, I think it was 30.
I used to charge that.
30 bob, yeah.
Then one time Dad is like, Mo unalipisha 30 na vile una polish vizuri. I remember even had 2 brushes.
Yeah.
Ya kupolish.
Alafu
kitambaa. And he used to be happy. Yeah. Then he's like, why are you charging me 30 bob? I'll be giving you 50 bob. So again, when I clean Mom's shoes, I'm like, ni 50 bob. She will tell me, okay. She will not pay on the spot. Alikuwa mjanja sana. She gave me a book.
Yeah.
And now I will try it every time I will clean her shoes. Monday, 12th,
yeah.
50. Da 50. Then she will tell me, when it accumulates, I will pay you maybe at the end of the month.
Yeah, a lump sum.
You know that book got lost somehow. And I remember, it got lost in her office. And I have a feeling she still has that book to date. And she will tell, so I will give her an estimate and she will say, no, you're overcharging me. Your pesa si mingi. Neno alibebea kitabu atiendelea kwa ofisi sasa afanye accumulating.
Ndo kulipa sasa.
Then walikuwa wanaona the importance of that.
No, I don't.
It did not make sense to them una save sahi
at that time, yeah.
I believe it was hand to mouth.
Yeah.
So to try kuleta initiative, it's also a new concept to them sasa.
Yes.
Sina kupea. Una save ya nini?
What else do you need?
I'll pay for your university fees, I'll pay for your high school fees. I'll buy you clothes if you want them. So I believe it was just that.
And things you just used to move. You know, you have food on the table, your fees is paid for. Hata ikichelewa, or because a number of times here and there, mngechelewa would be part of those, unajua when you're mnafukuzwa home when they are fee. But everything was moving, really. Yeah. It's not like we ever lacked at any one given point. And my habits because now when I started to interact with money is not so much primary because everything was provided. And even in boarding school, we never had a canteen. Like you need to buy stuff. No. Plus, the mom would visit and dad would visit. So we really didn't have the need to have money to buy stuff. So in high school, it's when now I started to handle money. Kwa sababu napewa pocket money. And I tend to think I'm quite a disciplined person when it comes to money. Because I'm also not quite the overspender. And in high school, what are you spending on? Mostly it's the canteen. Yeah. But I always had a way of making sure I have the money to spend, but I will still have a chunk that I was saving. Now the disadvantage was, sasa unapata nakopwa sana.
Friends.
Yeah, friends. I'm stuck, and nitapata pesa, can you lend me some money? And I did lose some good amount of money to a friend, I remember. But my habit handling money was savings. Somewhere, I don't know where it came from, but at the back of my mind, I always knew I had to put some money aside. Tuku me factor in ile transport, na nini, everything else. I always had some money. And moving to campus also, ndo unapewa pia upkeep pia. I don't think I saved much in campus, but I always had the desire to know how to save. I was always curious. Ni vile tu pia this information is not like out there.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a bank account in campus. Initially, I didn't have one. Because at a fees I want to believe the fees was paid. I was never at no point was I given money to pay. And so ile kusave ni ile tu unaweka kwa your M-Pesa. Like you just have some money lying around somewhere. And so ako ka culture ka saving tu kamekuwa tu mahali. Because I always used to be curious, how do you save in a circle? Because at the time there were no avenues really. Hizo tu ndizo nilikuwa nasikia sana circles and a bank. And even getting to a bank was very the fees, because kuna ile pesa ukiweka kwa bank it's not a standing order. There's some money that needs to be in your account. Or when you're opening an account, you're required some amount of money. I just remember
you can't withdraw it.
Yeah. I remember that amount being quite high. So hata hiyo idea ya kusema nitafungua bank account so that I'll be putting some money, where are you even starting? But hiyo tu kusave. Saving, I think for me has just been a huge part of money. And I don't know, I've grown. When I got my first internship is when the whole idea of the circles came in. Because it was a circle. So since you're in the institution, it becomes very easy to know what happens. How do you save in a circle? How do you go about it? And that's why I would say that was my first proper avenue for saving. Circles. And I joined and started contributing. What would you say for you? How is your interaction with money so far?
So far it's nice. I've experienced both sides. Because it's funny how we've cultivated our own savings and spending habits. Just like I said, there was not that we didn't have a conversation about money. Because that time in high school I was very disciplined with money. Mi pocket money yangu nilikuwa na save.
I think now that you mentioned, I think the whole idea of savings ni hiyo unasema hand to mouth, like you could tell there was a bit of a struggle kidogo. Okay.
Because I was disciplined in high school. Savings. At times hadi unajinyima canteen, unajiwekea do and you know kile unataka. I even remember the first chicken I bought savings. Hakuna ati ni boost. Niko na hii tu and food. And it was finished high school. It was still good, but now the problem was una save
For what? And that's where the money would just disappear after saving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember sometime in 2019, I just bought an expensive watch. No, not that expensive, but kalikuwa tu na kabei, unaona, hujabai zile za tu so tuseme nika 7, so you know that's still expensive.
That's another level. Yeah.
So kidogo kidogo hiyo watch hata niliuziwa haina battery. Sasa siko nimenotice. You remember that watch? Tena uende tao wakuzie battery expensive, tena ikumbe watch yenyewe ilikuwa tu. Siku hizi tunasema mbwakni. Ilikuwa tu mbwakni. Yes, you are saving. But
you don't know the end game.
There's no end goal hapa. You just make a purchase and you're like, hey, was it really necessary?
Yeah.
You just do. Alafu sasa usherati kicked in. Sherehe. Now that's when things went south. Because again you save. Mnaenda sherehe. Unakale na filamu jatosheka. Kuna kitu nimejiekea. Acha ni sponsor leo. Following day you wake up umeudhika. So unapata you are saving but hata ukiangalia kile umesavia hakuna. So it's not until recently 2022 that's when I started like having a direction. And again it was because of a situation that forced me to be like, no, we are saving for this.
Focus.
Like talked magic. That was 2022.
Yeah.
2023 last year again ikawaka. But it was not a perfect run. Of course kuna zile times pia uta waste. Unatumia na huku umepanga kutumia. Again this year kidogo pia imenicharaza kidogo. But at least currently I can say my interaction is good. I'm more conscious. I know what makes me waste the money and what makes me score. I can point out. I'm disciplined with money until this happens.
Okay.
But for now I can say I'm at a good point.
You're at a good point.
I'm managing to the little I'm having, the little I'm getting. Na manage kuichannel vizuri. And I'm happy with it. Jan Feb did some squandering and I was like, wait. Kwani ujipendi? I'm not Jan. So Feb recover. Sai. It's now I'm not at a good point.
Good.
And I'm happy. I had to learn the hard way. Because you make the mistakes until sasa unapata kichwa. Like endo squander basi.
And until you learn your lesson, you're going to keep making the same mistake.
You have the flow, you have the cash flow, but again, ukiangalia ulitumia kufanya nini?
You can't tell.
You just had a good load of savings. Ulitumia kufanya nini? You can't really, you don't have something to show for it.
Yeah. And that was a good perspective because I couldn't tell where the savings mentality came from, but now I can I'm able to connect. And in the same breath now when you talk about savings, I think that's hiyo ndo challenge moja iko, like we are saving but what are we saving for? Because I think hata mimi back then I would save for mostly clothes. Because everything else was provided. Maybe clothes, your airtime, na sherehe, because sherehe pia did a thing, you know. But then again, kuna watu bado pia hawajafika kwa hiyo discipline ya kusave. Because with saving then you need the discipline. Like you need
usipata pesa kwa account then 2 hours later kama a day later wewe tena mbio
umeitoa. Because I would rather you're able to save, shida ibakingi ni what am I going to do with this money? Because I feel now there are guys who have a challenge of just cultivating the saving culture ya kuweka kando. And what has helped in employment, fortunately, you can always have check-off system where ukipata pesa yako hivi, okay, your salary, whatever that is, so say you're saving in a sacco, the amount is deducted directly from your salary.
So it's not up to you to make the deposit.
So by the time the money is coming to you, the savings element has already been catered for. You can do like a standing order where the money hits your account, the money leaves your account. So si pesa unapata ndo uende uka save, you've already saved. And it really helps because hata ukifanya hesabu yako, you're not factoring in, like you're not having to factor in the savings kando. It's already done. Now you can deal with the money that you have at hand. And how it helps, unapatanga hiyo pesa ya kusave hadi unaisahau lingi. Because it's not even coming, it's not showing up. Kwa hesabu yako hata haukuangi remember you're planning for the money that now
is at
hand. Which is a beautiful thing, but also now if you're not employed, then it requires that you have some level of discipline to know this money has come in. Immediately take out the savings first. I think for me that's the advice I would give. Unajua kuna ingine unasemanga, okay, let me first plan out everything I need. Whatever remains, I will save. Don't do that. Whatever you choose every month you're going to save, put it aside first. Then work with that money. Because na hii economy tunaishi, and assuming you even have even more responsibilities, it becomes very easy to, like, pesa itaisha. You get the money, the needs are there. You need to be doing something. And savings eventually just becomes, like below tunasema, you find you have nothing to save.
Mimi I'd say there's nothing like little money.
No.
Because at times the perception you have is, sasa na save mbao ya nini? Na save 10 bob ya nini? Na save so ya nini? In our minds mostly unapatanga savings ni punch, thou,
evil. 2-5. Like good money.
But acha niwaambie mimi, if there's something that really amazed me, was saving you small money. There was a time I used to save mbao. Then at the end of the month I'm like, niko na punch clean sana hapa tu juu hiyo mbao. Unaona? Kwa zile za okay. Jilikuwa na acha tuko 20 by 5, that's 100.
Yeah.
4 weeks that's 400. And of course kuna ingine sasa ulikuwa umesave maybe hata umeka 250 extra hivi unapata uko na either 500 ama hata 600.
Yeah.
Kimchezo tu. But there's also that kudharau pesa.
Yeah.
And it's funny how hii pesa kidogo ndo unapata ngata imeaccumulate imekuwa mob.
Yes.
So to so 50 mbao. After some time you check your account, auelewi ni aje ulifika this amount.
It's called the compounding effect of money. And I think at times ile shida tunakuanga nayo, you're looking at it in the short term. Saizi 20 bob, it does not
50
it does not make sense. But you do that on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis. At the end of the year, it's a good amount of money. It's a good amount of money. And let's give flowers to the people who have helped to walk this money journey. When I got my first job, can I call her my mom? In quotes.
Job mom.
My job mom.
If there's something like that.
Yeah, she's actually my job mom, and she calls me her daughter. That's so nice. So my job mom told me, you need to be putting aside, hata kama ni kidogo sana, like 2-5, just put it aside. Have it iende bank on a monthly basis without fail. And it's advice, you give an advice, then at times you don't take it up. Then baadaye is when you realize it is making a lot of sense later. But that's one of the advice I was given. And I did follow. Ni vile tu sikuwa consistent. Nilifungua, I had an account and I was putting in the 25. And it makes an impact. After a few months, and because mara mingi unapatanga your attention will always shift. Kutoka kwa hiyo pesa. The moment you make a decision, it will shift. And you find you have some good money. You have an emergency, you have your money.
Yeah.
and you get yourself sorted. Another advice, and I got, it's always been through my career journey. One, there was the need to be in a circle. Yeah. So this was pointed out by a few people. But aside from that, now this one person, who tutamuita aje? Watu wa kushikilia mkono wanaitwa nani? Destiny helpers. Acha tumuite hivyo. They were like, immediately you join the circle, you need to be contributing at least a certain amount of money. And in my head I go like, hiyo ni pesa mingi sana. You get, the amount was quite substantial actually. And kidogo you listen to advice and you're like, okay, I hear you, it's making sense. Sijui ni nini tunakuanga na kiburi ya somebody who is telling you is in a better position. They're doing way better than you. But you almost want to question what they're trying to say. Or the kind of
nakupanga.
Yeah.
Like, so you think I've not done my research.
Yeah,
you think I can't handle the money I'm getting.
I'm like, kweli. That's the way you should go. And
it feels like they are exaggerating.
Exactly. But I didn't take the advice for the first couple of months. And in the third month hakuna mtu alikuwa ameniambia niende nikaeke hiyo pesa kwa sako. I took myself there, I remembered his advice, and I went and I put the chunk there. So just to say, when it comes to money, do you think we often get advice and we are not really putting it into practice? Are people even giving advice? Do you sort advice when it comes
to money? It's very hard to find someone who gives you advice on money.
People are not.
I think you're the only person who has talked to me about money. I remember when I was even going to create my account. You're the only person I've had a conversation with about money. Because even mom, it's usually just casual. Na ukumbuke pesa itumia yangu yote. Done.
Yeah, I'm nasonga.
But we've never sat down and talked about a structure. You do this, you do this. But the best advice I've ever received from mom about money is when you get a lump sum that you are not expecting.
Yeah, put it aside.
Jifanye una hiyo pesa. Ndio excitement kwanza iishe. That's the best advice she has ever given me.
Okay.
Regardless. Unajua lump sum ina depend na mtu.
Yeah.
But if you get some money you are not expecting, needs sasa ndo zinakujanga, they come running.
Yeah.
So she was like, you just sit on it.
Think
give
about
it time.
it.
Let the excitement cool. Alafu sasa check your priority list. This and this. That's the best. That's the farthest we've gone with her about money. With dad, never. The only thing dad has ever told me is, and I remember he had taken us for nyama choma. It was on a Sunday. We came back, he gave me 100 bob. He asked me, uko na kitu kwa mfuko? I told him no. He gave me 100 bob. I was in primary back then. Then he told me, mzee, afai kukaa bila kitu kwa mfuko. That's the only one advice I received. Which is still advice.
It is still advice. I have taken mom's advice. When you get an amount of money you are not expecting, jifanye hauna hiyo pesa. Don't get too excited. That advice I have taken. But I also think because we have come from a point, we are not poor. Yeah, we are also not wealthy.
Mali tu.
Tuko hapo middle. So we've not come from money. Let me put it that way. So anytime I get an amount of money that I would ideally not have thought in my head I would, it humbles me. I don't have that excitement. There's a certain kind of excitement you can have. I don't get it. It humbles me. And so I'm very much able to implement what she says. Like, just calm yourself down, see what you need to do, then get it done. Don't rush to act immediately about that. Now, Dad has given advice, maybe haija kufikia bado, learn to live within your means. I think he says it quite often. Learn to live within your means. And I will say, it is good advice. It is good advice. Ni vile too, at times I'm like, okay. At times when you have a bit of ambition, at times inakuanga, no, but then it's within, because even if you're taking a loan, it means you're taking a loan, but which is within your means.
Yeah. It's manageable. It's
manageable. Like, you know how you can go about it. But nowadays I feel a few people are willing to talk about money. But I think the challenge is, hata ukiona wale watu wame-make it, even in the family, it's very hard to have this conversation.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Like,
I mean it. What do you do?
Like, what did you do to get to this place? Or how do you go about your money? I think these are conversations that are tunajaribu, but we are not there yet.
Yeah.
We are not there yet. I remember because eventually now, when I got into employment, I was curious about how I can save more. And I wanted to do a life insurance policy as a way of saving, what they would call an endowment plan. Apologies. Okay, let's get that done. Sorry about that. I wanted to do an endowment plan. And what that would mean is then you approach an insurance company, right? Lucky for me, where I used to work, there used to be a lady who had insight about insurance and policies and all that. But I didn't get to be in that space for quite a while. So when I shifted, I continued to want to look for, this insurance and to really be able to understand what happens.
How does it work?
How does it work? How do I go about it? And I remember walking myself to one in town. Because at times I don't understand why people are putting phone numbers in their websites and they're not working. Like,
they won't pick.
They won't pick. They won't go through. I don't get it. So I had to physically take myself. And so when I went and you try to explain your situation, I got a lady who sat me down to explain the whole, how it works process. And all that. But in her mind, she was very adamant. She was like, are you sure you want to take up a policy? She was like, are you sure you're not a sales lady, insurance lady? Because with insurance companies, they have their salespeople. And so from her perspective, she thought, I'm trying to get information. Unaona, like, wewe ni ka salesperson, unataka tu kujua vile ina work ndo uende huko nje and try to convince a person. And so we had a conversation, we talked, we exchanged numbers, but you could tell she was just brushing you off. And when it comes to the payment plans, they're like, okay, we need to get your bank details and all that. You're like, do you have an alternative mode of payment, maybe M-Pesa? How do you get your money? Are you on payroll? Now you begin to understand the complexities that are there when now you want to go maybe into the formal way of savings. Because for one, amekudismiss maybe kwa sababu anaona wewe ni mdogo or something, or the assumption that you're a salesperson. There's the question of, can you even afford to be paying monthly? Then that means if you're not employed, you're disadvantaged. Because if they are really insisting that we need like a check-off system or something, and you're not on one, or you do not have stable income, then somebody can easily dismiss you.
Yeah.
That was one of the challenge I had, trying to look for avenues to save. But mi nasemanga, if you're really curious about something, just go the extra mile too. Naona kama hiyo kujipeleka. Apparently, when it comes to money, the information is not all out there.
People conceal it.
Information is not, it's not as open as you would go Google. But sasa unaona ukijipeleka kwa hiyo, tuseme the organization itself or the investment company itself, have somebody walk you through, talk you through it, that is something. Because ukiangalia tu pia kwa website, you may not quite understand it. And I know even you have a friend who has approached me before regarding
savings, investments,
and all that. And there's an assumption that you know, like you have it all figured out, which at times is not the case.
Yeah.
And so for me, my journey has been, if I'm curious about something, I will look for information where I need to look for information. So if I'm interested in a certain organization, I am going to, if I need to take myself there physically, I will go, just to be able to understand the whole aspect of it. But it is challenging because if you're not having a stable salary income,
it's hard to
you can't join some of these savings platforms. Because then if you default for whatever reason, then there are penalties to that or consequences to that. Yeah. No, it's one of the challenges when it comes to savings.
Money, I don't think there'll ever be a point where people talk openly about money, have like honest conversations. It's up to you to find someone who you feel like they have something figured out.
Yeah.
Ama they know their way through. Uwasumbue, we're persistent, sit down with them, then you get that. Because at the end of the day, from your it's how you manage whatever you're getting.
Yeah.
It's not about how much you're making.
Yeah.
It's how you manage. Are you able to multiply it? Are you able to use it productively?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Just Ivy, you've heard of Just Ivy Africa? I think she's one of the person who is trying to really have these money conversations. And her platform is now, I mean, she is the money person go-to and all that. Just check her out for more
insights.
For more insights and all that. Yeah. Money. What else can you think about money?
Money.
You get money. Do you get excited? What are your habits when you get money? There are people who get excited about money. We have spenders. There are people who believe I have the money, I want to spend the money. Money is coming my way. There are people who have a more limited perception towards money, a scarcity mentality. You get money, you want to hold on to it. For some reason, it's like it gives you some sort of safety. What kind are you? Does money excite you?
These days, not that much. Not like it used to. Just like, okay, sawa. Siku hizi niko na vitu twingi kwa kichwa. Like, now the question is, what do we want to spend it on? Nitumie sahi ama kwanza niweke for something I want to do in maybe 2 months or 3 months time. That's the biggest dilemma. Ninunue kitu. That's just it. But until now I get like money because whatever I'm getting is money that it's just the kawaida cash. Hakuna nothing out of this one.
Yeah.
But now I believe the real test will come when it really flows sasa. when that time comes, now ask me, what is your relationship with money? Because say honestly, I'm very limited. Say sina options, it's either you do this or this. It's either you spend it sahi on this, ama uieke, usave, then within the next 3 months ufanye hivi. Ile siku utajua jenani kama anaomoka. Ask me that question. I believe that is when my true colors will come out, but as of now, I'm just chilling.
You're just chill with money. How do we feel about lending money?
I don't like that thing for some reason. I've lost money to a couple of friends, and there's something I came to learn. Never lend out money you're not willing to lose.
Yes.
So if, for instance, someone asks me for this amount, nenyu nasikia ni kama ako kwa shida, but again kumbuka binadamu ni binadamu, they might not pay it back. I'll scale it down, maybe halfway. If I'm really okay with this half amount going, but siwezi kupea sahi, siwezi kupea pesa na juu itaniuma, ama siko ready ku lose. Most of the times when I send, even my friends, when I send them money, anyone who wants the money, and I'm in a position to nikituma kwa kichwa na kwanga tu zile zati kikosa kurudi,
you're good,
well and good. There's something about lending that brings some form of hatred, alafu the way after the money has gone, it's like you have to beg for it. No, that, and I feel like mkianza kupeshana ni kama it just breaks the, but again it's just a personality trait I have. Generally spendi kuomba, spendi
wewe mwenyewe
spendi kuomba, na tena spendi kuombo. You get, napenda I know you can't be totally independent, but napendanga that level of acha tukae. But again I ask myself, ile time itakuwa kwa fix vizuri,
what's going to happen then?
But all in all, personally, I won't lend out money that I know I'm not ready to lose. Nikituma do unakwanga hata nisha resign to the fact that it may not come back. And that's just it. But hata nijua unakufa, na siko ready ku lose hiyo pesa. I won't be your knight in shining armor. Acha nikae.
For me, I do not like to borrow. If I am borrowing money, it's because nimefika mwisho. I always like to exhaust my sources first. Mine, in the sense of, if I can do an M-Shwari, I'm going to do an M-Shwari. If I can do all sorts of loans, I am going to do them. Now, when it gets to a point where I have exhausted all the options within me, then now I will come to. But also, if I am borrowing money from you, it's because you are my friend. And by friend, I mean you're like my best friend. Because hizo maneno zinakatanga kutoka.
Feel like a border.
Zinakatanga kabisa. And so, until I'm very easy with you, like very easy. Because I remember also some time back, there was some time kulikuwa kumekwama. And I remember, I'm the kind of person, I don't need to have a coin on me to feel some type of way.
Some form of security.
Some form of security. I could be waking up today. Najua mbele nyuma niko na fare. Transport to get me to work. And I have nothing to get me back. But that is not something that is going to make me now feel stressed. That's how I am with money. And so during that period I would find myself nimefika jioni, that's when unakumbuka sina fare.
Unafaa kurudi.
What am I supposed to do? But now I used to have this friend. He used to be very easy. We used to be very easy. And huyo ndo mtu utamwambia nipe 100. And by nipe si nikopeshe, because that's also there is also a difference. So for me, if I'm borrowing you money, it's because you're truly my friend. Like it comes easy.
And you can extend the same to them without feeling conflicted.
I can extend the same to the other person. Now when it comes to lending, I love my money, I do not like a person messing with my money. If you borrow my money, please have it back when you said you're going to have it back, because it is planned for. You get, it's not like I have money just sitting pretty somewhere not doing anything. And so for me, I also try to avoid the lending. Especially, I don't have a problem lending money, but if we agree on a date, or because mara mingi ni wewe utakuwa unapeana, whoever who is borrowing will be the one giving the timelines. I'm going to do this by this time,
in a month's time, in 2 months time.
So now if you're not communicating, what are we doing?
True.
If you're not keeping me updated, if I am the one having to follow you up, what are we doing? So I also don't like the back and forth that comes with that.
Yeah.
But I also love the people who keep their word, because there are people who will lend money and
they'll give it back in time.
They'll give it back in time, and if they can't, they're going to communicate.
Yeah.
Which I respect. I totally respect. I came across a podcast by Lisa. I'm going to link it down in the description. The podcast is Women of Impact. I came across it on YouTube, and she was hosting a lady called Trimm. And Cindy does not lend anybody money, including the husband.
Hey, that's a strict one.
That's just her way. Now, from whatever she was saying, and she said, you need to give dignity to people, in the sense, when I lend money to you the first time, you'll be happy. I've come through for you, right? The second time, you're going to be grateful. That time you come, it's like you're expecting me to give it, regardless.
The entitlement now.
Now the entitlement comes. Now the fourth time, if I don't give you the money, you resent me. Unanichukia. And so these are just levels, especially if now we are talking of what, as an incident with one person. Mtu akizoea, the first time they're happy, the second time very happy. That time it's an expectation. And so I think to avoid all that, I don't know. Not to say that I don't lend money, but
you try to avoid.
I don't like the back and forth.
That in the future, I just pray that I don't find myself in a situation where I have to borrow from someone. I hope I have that liquidity. Ama we just go take a loan. History na mimi sijui, watu tunakuanga watu ni difficult. Hata mimi mwenyewe ni difficult. It's not like I'm absorbing myself. But hey, it gets tough, especially when money is involved. It's a whole different ball game.
I hear you. And I was just flipping to see whether we have left anything out when it comes to money.
Money. I think we've covered.
I think another challenge maybe that is here nowadays is you do not know where to invest your money, because companies are failing every so often.
Frauds.
Frauds are there. You go
and the PF they are doing.
And you can easily fall for a plan
using prominent people, alafu baadaye unasikia watu wamekoniwa mbaya.
So I think that's a challenge that is there. Doing your due diligence before putting your money. But how much due diligence can you do?
Sometimes I feel like it's luck. Most of them are competent people, competent companies. It's just that greed kicks in. So unasikia the first lot always benefits. Then baadaye.
Let's not say the second. Maybe from the third, fourth, fifth
hapo sasa ndo
generation that is coming in.
But for a start, they usually genuine.
Very good. And you would expect that now, because they have stabilized more, that now you're a bit more confident you're not going to lose your money.
Because you might have the money, but you don't even know where to take it. So it just lies in the bank. I mean, just keep your cash.
So I think it's important. At times you may never have truly the whole picture of a company, even as you do your due diligence, but it's always good to do your due diligence. Kusikiza tu watu wanasema nini kuihusu.
Yeah.
Or reading what
na si watu prominent. Mimi husema tafuta the normal people.
Yeah, what are they saying about
because
it?
Let's assume I'm a prominent guy, you can't pay me, we want you to do this and this.
Yeah.
Most of them are here for the money. Na maybe hata wewe mwenyewe akiinvest, they'll make sure he or she gets whatever he's supposed to.
Yeah.
Ndo hiyo self confidence. So again, you can never truly, because a lot of people are being conned by these companies using influencers.
Yes.
There are a lot of cases.
It is very unfortunate.
Yes, they'll honor their end of the bargain for these influencers. But not you, the common guy.
Yeah.
They won't. And again, our legal system is why? Nani ataka kushinda akienda court cases? Mention.
It's hectic.
Yeah.
It's hectic. Most of the time people lose. Yeah. So that is money. Money. What are you doing with your money? I guess. Yeah. But
how are you managing it?
How are you managing your money? Money is good, and we want to get more of it. Most definitely.
Yeah.
It affords a lifestyle, it affords experiences, it affords comfort, freedom.
Yeah.
Money is good. Something I learned very recently about money. Money may not have value. Maybe I should put that into context. How we were saying, hakuna pesa kidogo na hakuna pesa mingi. There's this one time, a friend of mine loves to do farming. And one time he tagged me along to buy some trees. And so a tree, I don't want to lie, how much does a seedling cost on average?
Not sure.
I think if you're going to buy like a very expensive seedling, which is, be it a fruit or a tree, let's give it 250. That's a very expensive seedling. Kama zile za madhe alikuwa amebuy how much? 500 per seedling.
Hizo ni gani?
Ile matunda alikuwa anasema.
Ilikuwa punch. Ile yenye alikuwa anasema inaleta nimeikumbuka ile grow.
Dragon fruit.
That one, yeah.
But it's just to say that a seedling is not very expensive. I think 200, 250. That's the range, if I'm not wrong. And so, with 1,000 bob, you can buy how many? Say on average 200. Those are 5. Yeah. You go plant the trees. The return after a few years, kwa hizo miti, very huge.
Yeah.
So 1,000 bob may not seem much. Actually, if you go to a restaurant right now, 1,000 bob, can we tunaweza shiba 1,000 bob?
Wawili hapana.
We can't.
Well, depends. But like a good restaurant,
1,000 may not do much. And so it's the idea of what, even say like a chicken. How much does a chicken cost? A chick
350.
on average 350.
Kuna the one day old chicks 400 per chick, but a semi grown one 350. Yenye ishafika kale ka stage ya kufa juu ya ugonjwa wa nini.
Yeah
350.
So 350 when you
kama hawajaongeza that is,
yeah,
but last I checked,
let's say on average 350. When you look at 350, it does not seem like much. But assuming unaenda unabuy hizo chickens after a few months, and truth is you might be able to buy one, but chances are you're able to buy 5, depending on how much income you have. And so money, the value of money may not have value in one place, but it could have a lot of value elsewhere. And so now when I had this experience, I think it really opened up my mind to Because most of the time you're like, I need so much money to be able to do this. I need quite a huge, which at times you need to do a certain investment or as capital for something. But money is valuable. Even if it's not valuable here, it is valuable elsewhere. And I don't know, take care of your money, and your money will take care of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an easy way to end the conversation.
Yeah.
Nothing more to add.
Thank you so much if you have stuck up to this point. Yeah.
We are on Instagram, Purity Shulak.
Yes.
Tuanaizi sura tu mahali, Purity Shulak.
Yes, and feel free to engage with us. Feel free to comment on your money experiences. What are your money habits? What is it you feel needs to be done a bit more? I know we are trying to open up conversations about money and to be able to understand more. It's expensive now. There are classes actually, master classes
For
money, just to be able, financial literacy, just to be able to help you understand. If you're curious about an investment, go for it. Approach whoever you need to approach. Make calls wherever you need to do that. There are always people who are willing to share information. Yeah. So if you keep looking, you are going to find somebody. And we are going to see you on the next episode.
Sayonara.